we got a little bit derailed because you got all choked up.
Yeah. I'm feeling it a little bit too.
Oh yeah,
I might.
This is the Grow
might have a
Business
cackle.
Podcast with Cory Mosley.
You know what?
Well,
that's a human element.
Yeah, but the mic, I can at least, like when I'm mic'd,
right?
You know, you got to go through a lot of antics to cover it. Here, I just step away from the mic and make the cackle, and nobody knows. But but yeah, I'm liking this combo today.
Thank you.
I mean, listen, I like for people to get our information and listen to us in any modality that fits them.
Right.
But, you know, I think people are missing out when they don't see, you know, the snazziness. how we come to the table. I mean, we're phoning in some episodes.
Well, we casual it. So
yeah, we're casual something. But that's representative of how people were, you know, some people are casual.
So where we
doing
living?
casual business. Some people are doing business.
Right.
You know, different kinds of business.
That's exactly right.
In there.
And it's a good, better, best.
My friend's dad used to say that he was a longtime car dealer. Shout out to David Kane, longtime friend of mine. His dad, who's no longer with us, but R.I.P. to Mr. Kane there. He used to say business.
Yeah.
This is the car business we in. And I loved it always. So we always joke with each other about it. Yeah, business.
Well,
that's how you know you're from a southern, you know, he was from Kentucky.
Yeah, there you go.
He was from Kentucky, born and bred in Kentucky. So there you go.
That's some serious work there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, welcome to the show. If you're wondering where you are, you have not hit the wrong button or the wrong dial. If you're here to talk about business, then you're in the right place because this is the Grow Business Podcast. I'm your host, Cory Mosley, and I'm joined by Snazzy. We call him LG007, but I'm going to call him Snazzy Graham today. Lon Graham is here with us.
Voice of reason.
It's good to be here, Cory.
Yes, and the man doing okay. 2 minutes and 8 seconds in today's podcast. We'll see how this thing wraps up. And none other than our producer, Willie H, is here.
Hit the buttons, William.
That's right. That was a slow clap. He gave you a golf clap. LG gave you a golf clap. Well, LG, I am super excited today because I get... Normally, for those of you who view us on YouTube or watch us on Spotify, we stream on video to Spotify also. I would normally have my laptop open where I have the nuggets of information that I will be sharing. But there's a little role reversal because LG normally has his laptop closed because he doesn't know what's going to happen. So if you're a longtime listener, viewer of the show, you know that we focus on, what we call the 5 pillars of business growth: mindset, sales, marketing, operations, and people. That's the premise of my latest book, Position for Growth.
Yay.
Yep, of course. Very good. Look at Willie H, which you can purchase CoryMosley.com if you want an author signed copy. You can go to Amazon.com also. Free shipping both places. But we base the premise on the show around these ideas and these topics.
Yes.
And for people who know, they know, and I get asked this from people who listen. Do you really not tell Lon, the show? Because that's part of the premise is we'll cover a topic. We'll talk about a topic, but Lon doesn't really know what it's going to be in advance, which I think creates more organic conversation.
Yeah.
So, I've got some core takeaways that I want to make sure we get to, but then the thing could go in any direction, as it often does. So we're doing a bit of role reversal. We talked about this last week.
Right.
That part of LG's pittance. I'm not going to talk about what happened. I'm not going to talk about it, but part of was that he was going to, and I don't know, this could work against me because now I'm catching it. But I was going to let LG. I'm going to let him drive this ship and talk about the topic. We know the pillar.
Yes.
We talked about which is going to be sales.
Yes.
Right. We're talking about sales pillar this week, but LG is now going to be in control of what we are talking about in the topic and the main takeaways.
Yes.
So if you hate it, it's all LG's fault.
Lord have mercy.
So I love the beautiful comments we get on LinkedIn and we get on different social media and the DMs. But for this episode, any issues you have with the information or the tactics, we're not your gurus, as we say. We're not here to be your gurus. But any problems you have, I want you to direct to LG007. 804 People are like, give us the rest of the number. I want to call this guy.
That's exactly right.
So I am going to just position myself here and move my mic a little bit. I'm going to take a sip of water.
Please do.
And Willie H., do we have like a drum roll of any kind? Or do we have something that you can cue up or something that might make sense for the turnover? Yeah. Yes. I am turning it over to LG007.
Appreciate it.
You got 15 minutes.
Appreciate it, Cory. So I think what we also should tell people is that part of the reason that I'm coming up with the topic today is because your back hurts.
Your back hurts. My back hurts. I've been carrying it.
Because for almost 50 episodes that we've been working together, you're telling me, Lon, I'm tired of doing all the work, and you just showing up and start talking.
I never thought about it like that.
And it's like, I'm tired of doing all the work and doing all the heavy lifting, and I'm tired of carrying you. So I'm going to put it on your back and let you carry us for a day.
Well, let's see how this goes.
Let's see how this goes. I might have to go strengthen my back. So no, it's fantastic, and thanks for the opportunity, Cory. And so, like you said, we are going to talk about the sales pillar.
Okay.
And the subtopic or the subset of this conversation, it's really an underappreciated approach to growing sales and revenue.
Okay.
And what we're talking about is sales strategies for increasing sales with your current clients and your current customers.
Okay.
So how can we spend a lot of time, you talk about going out to networking events, talking about going out and meeting new people and having new client meetings and all of that. What we're doing sometimes and often we'll neglect opportunities or even ignore opportunities that are right in front of us with current clients. How can we grow that business with people that already trust us, that are already buying from us, and given the opportunity to do more with us, they will.
Right.
And so it's up to us to create an environment where that's possible. And the only way that we can do that is to create opportunities for them. And they're going to be more willing to do that with us if we make it easier for them to do it.
Well, I will tell you what I like about this too, is because I will tell you, I don't think a week goes by that I don't get a message from a client that swears up and down I'm talking about them. I'm going to tell you, Willie H. knows this. Willie H. knows this. Or they think I'm getting ready to talk about them, or they think I was talking about them.
Right.
I will get a note, that is, oh, were you talking about me this episode about the thing? I know we do that. We're going to stop doing that. You don't have to talk about us or whatever. So this is good because this is or completely coming from you.
Right.
So now, my commentary still may include some...
Well, pertinent examples of things that we deal with on a daily basis.
I like that. That's very good. You make a very good political spokesman. Pertinent examples to the commentary. So I like this.
Good.
I love this. I think this is valuable, particularly right now when people are thinking about, a lot of people, some of them we're talking to are having that 2025 conversation.
Correct.
What are they going to do differently? What marketing, rebranding, this type of thing. I'm actually I'll be headed out of town to speak to a group of business owners who are all doing you have to be doing $10 million or more in business to be in this room. So
awesome.
It's going to be a smaller room because statistically, the number of small businesses that do that number.
Right.
And the topic is how to know if it's time to rebrand.
Oh, wow, okay.
And what are those indicators and what could that look like? And we're going to do I'm going to do a couple case studies on some before and afters on some rebrands that we've done. So while people are having that conversation, they're thinking about attracting new business.
Right.
But something that clearly needs to be on the agenda is how to monetize or better monetize opportunities within your current client base.
Correct.
Right. Like, I use the term. I don't think it's a bad term. I think it makes sense. But like the idea of low hanging fruit. Right. Where are there revenue opportunities that you're missing because you're looking at all these big things that may take a lot more work. It still may need to be done.
Right.
It may take more work to do. So this is great.
100%.
Go ahead.
And I'm gonna read this because I wrote it, and this is proof that I actually prepared for this conversation.
That's helpful. This will be a short podcast if
that's exactly right.
You didn't.
But what I wrote was, with existing clients, we've already earned their business, their trust, and goodwill.
Okay.
If we can make it easier.
Did you write this like a speech here?
Well, no, I wrote this. I wrote this one sentence.
Oh, okay.
Of these
Go
two
ahead.
sentences.
All right, do it again because I was wondering where this was going. I thought you pulled out notes, like you prepared some notes, and you wanted to.
Well, I wrote these two sentences to set this up.
Thank you for having me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thrilled to be in front of you today with this information. I'm great to have the opportunity to sit with you and share a couple ideas that I think would be valuable to you here. All right, go ahead.
So I've got bullet points that we're going to talk through.
Okay.
But to set the bullet points up, I wrote this. As you set this up for next year, it's perfect, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at revenue targets. We're looking at what are we expecting to grow? What percentage? Where are we going to get new business? Well, new business can come from the same clients that we're working with.
Sure.
With existing clients, we've already earned their business. We've already earned their trust. We've already earned their goodwill. If we can make it easier for them to buy more from us, they usually will.
Okay.
And you better believe it.
Yeah.
But that's the setup to this whole point and this whole conversation in this episode is we can get more business from the clients that are working with us where typically we've either haven't made an effort to do that or we're walking away from it without even paying attention to it.
I find in many instances, I can recall circumstances where people are like, oh, where business owners said to me in that vein, people didn't even know we did X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Or somebody just got this business. Man,
right.
They didn't even know.
Right.
That why didn't they know that you? Oh, I didn't know that you did.
Right.
Social media marketing. I thought you just built websites.
Right.
Well, I know you built websites. I thought you just did SEO.
Right.
Just like in that vein, or I
100%.
didn't know you did tree removal. I just thought you mowed the lawn.
100%.
Yeah.
And in that vein, there's two things. There's the clients that say that to you, and they don't know because you never told them.
Right.
And then there's the clients that you've told 100 times. You're like, I can't believe you didn't listen to me. Well, because it didn't matter at that time.
Right.
Each of those 100 times that you told them, the timing wasn't right. So now you've got to create an opportunity to get the timing right and look for those opportunities. And so we'll start with number one. And number one is the most direct.
How many do you have?
I've got 7.
Okay. Whew. All right.
Well, we can move through them pretty quickly, and we can actually combine a couple of them too. So, but I wanted to make sure that we had enough content.
Okay. Sure.
And I wanted to give, we want to make sure that we give our listeners opportunities to pick something that's going to be in line with the lane that they live in.
Okay.
First one, ask for more business.
Okay.
What do you think?
Right. I'm you now.
Perfect. Right. That's exactly
I'm you.
right.
I'm role reversal.
So,
right?
but I think that's exactly right. But the very first thing is ask your clients for more business. If you see an opportunity to do something that they are doing with somebody else, or you see an opportunity, and we'll use the landscaping example, right? Are you asking your clients if you can do fertilizer? Are you cutting the grass? Are you doing that for them? Okay, that's the only thing you're doing for them. Do you also offer a fertilizer service? Do you offer a regular maintenance service? Do you offer edging? What are some of the other things that you can offer that your clients aren't buying from you? And you can see if you're there regularly enough as a landscaping business, you can see what they're doing and what they're not doing. Why not talk to them and say, hey, we do this.
That's right.
Can we do it for you?
Right.
I mean,
well, and the other thing, so no, I like it. So the challenge is sometimes people in pursuit of the sophisticated, we forget the simple.
Correct. Oh, well said. I like that.
Yeah, I actually like that right there myself. Yeah, Willie H, make sure that makes it into a clip. I like that. We're gonna have to put that.
You may have to set that one up and say it again.
Right, it's write that down somewhere.
It's exactly right.
But it's true.
100%.
We look for the elaborate plan, and we just miss the opportunity to sit in front of us. And while the idea of asking for the business sounds so simple, there's so many times, more often than not, because many business owners, again, don't step in. We think sales is a position. Right. So, that's the salesperson's job.
Right.
But you are, right? We've talked about this before, 100%. Right? Everybody in your organization needs to be selling.
Right.
And understand the vision, the mission, and what you offer. But it is something as simple. So many people just don't even ask.
Right.
Do you want to buy it?
Right.
Do you want it? The other thing that I was thinking about that intertwines in that, because one of the things that we do is for people that that didn't do business, what I find, particularly with people who don't do business, they won't, we maybe put a proposal and they don't do business. They don't close or become clients, put that way. Many of them, and I'm not saying this from any type of arrogance, but many times, like we typically don't lose a business opportunity.
Right.
So like if someone says, okay, great, Cory, we want somebody to rebrand us, or we want, we need to reevaluate the process, or we want we want our team to get coached. If I pitch it,
right,
generally we get that business.
Correct.
I don't lose the business to somebody else.
Right.
So what I find one of the things I do when we don't land a client and it wasn't about them going with someone else,
right,
they make no decision.
Right.
Right. Oh, Cory, well, the website, we didn't, we're going to hold off for now. And 6 months later, I go on their site and it's still as jacked up.
They haven't done anything with it for anybody.
Right. It's still terrible.
Right.
To be blunt.
Correct.
So what I will do is I will drip out to them new projects that we complete.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and again, I understand it's a little off of the topic of clients you already have.
Right.
But asking for the business also can be subtle.
Correct.
So, just announced this new project. This was their before and after, or this is what happened in this testimonial.
Right.
I'm dribbling that out to stay top of mind, but to say, hey, we're still here. I know you didn't do anything, but we're still here to do that.
Right.
And that's just something that came into my mind in terms of that idea.
Right.
Because that it is applicable.
It is applicable for
to
sure.
That, to the other business.
Right.
So many business owners, I believe, simply, particularly once they have the client already, they wait for the client to take a future action.
Correct.
And that's the revenue loss.
That's the revenue loss.
Yeah.
And so, look, we both have a sales background. So what you're talking about is, we talk about whether A, B, or C targets or 1, 2, or 3 targets or primary, secondary, and tertiary targets. Where are they? Well, your primary targets, your number one, your top target are the clients you're already doing business with. Your secondary targets should be clients you've already engaged with, maybe even made a proposal to that they didn't buy, and you stay engaged with them with updates and regular updates. And that goes back into our very first one, is ask for the business. And what we've talked about before is people like, well, I don't want to be salesy. Or what they also do is, oh, I've got another appointment. Yeah. They stack their schedule so tight that they can't make the time or don't make the time to ask for the more business with that particular client.
I'm laughing because I'm laughing because I was in a meeting. So here you go, and they'll know I'm talking about them right now as I go talk about.
Part of the deal.
So I'm in the meeting. I don't know, a week or two ago, with a client.
Okay.
So I'm bringing my client. So they'll clearly know that I'm talking about them right now, or I'm talking about the meeting.
Right.
So I brought a client to the table with another business who I'm trying to make a client, but I'm bringing it together so they could do business.
Okay, sure.
So now, I've got the client in the room.
Right.
I've got the people I have a relationship with, but they're not financial clients. I know them a long time. They know me, but I want them to become a client.
Right.
And now we're all together with business. So, everybody's speaking freely. I mean, it's not an uptight meeting. We know each other and kind of, whatever. So it's like, so we get on the topic of like sale, and like my proposals there on the table is like, oh, let us see what you're paying. We want to, so it became a jovial thing, but it was like, did Cory put the sales? Did he put the sales pitch on you? And they're joking, but like this, it became this. You said the word salesy, so I'm like, am I salesy? I'm like, I consider myself pretty matter of fact.
Correct.
But if I am salesy, I'll take it because it worked.
Correct.
Last time I checked, you are a client.
Correct. That's
sitting at the table,
right.
and you're very close to becoming a client.
That's exactly right.
So don't be afraid to be salesy.
Correct.
Like that word, that terminology is how you make it sound.
Right.
Because I've always maintained it is your responsibility, if you can help someone with your product or service, to make sure they understand.
Right.
You don't have to be desperate.
Right.
Like salesy and desperate is not the same thing.
They're completely different. Absolutely.
But painting the picture and being matter of fact and genuinely sharing solutions that you believe, listen, if you're running game out there, sooner or later that's going to catch up with you.
Correct.
But if you're genuinely producing results or even have the best, sometimes you've got great ideas that don't pan out the way you want them to pan out.
Correct.
With a client,
100%
right? I mean, a barber, it's like,
that's the
oh,
reality
Lon,
of it.
I've got a great new look that I think is going to work for you. And then all of a sudden you've got a peace sign in the back of your head. Hey, it didn't work out exactly how you thought it was going to work out.
Right.
But as long as you genuinely have the intention of doing right, Willie hates cracking up. As long as you genuinely, well, we all have the same problem in here. We're all going to Turkey, by the way. I'm going to surprise everybody with a trip to Turkey.
Right.
We're going to come back afros, all three of us, all right? Full heads of hair like chia pets. It's going to be growing everywhere. Because that's a new place you go, Turkey.
Okay.
So my point being, making sure you are properly presenting your product and services and continuing to do that to the people that you can help.
Correct.
Somebody with a bad website or a bad lawn or bad landscaping or water, hard water. You sell water filtration systems, right? Hard water can wreck, damages your hair, damages your skin, damages your pipes.
Yes.
So talking about that often and sharing that information is just, to me, not being salesy if you're generally trying to help.
Well, and you're 100% right. And I mean, we talk about the sales piece of it all the time. You have to give people an opportunity to understand what you do and how what you do can help them and make their life better. And when you do it that way, what you're doing is you're giving them an opportunity to have a better life or a better business or whatever it is. So, but I love the example because it's almost like you've got ESPN because you read way ahead.
Oh, okay.
When you talked about
pretty good at this,
bringing a client and a friend together.
Okay, now you're cooking with gas.
So one of my bullet points is referral rewards programs. How can you reward existing clients for bringing potential new clients to the table and creating an opportunity to say, well, thank you for having enough confidence in me and continuing to bring new business to me, because that's a way to grow business with your existing client that we don't necessarily think about. So if you tell them, hey, look, if you know people that would benefit from something that I do, the work that we do together, and remember, I say this all the time, people know people like them. If you're in an industry, they know people that are also in that industry that have some of the same problems.
I had a client say it to me the other day. He's like, we're in the middle of a project for him. He's like, I've got 100 business owners in my network that look to me for what to do and next steps and innovation. 100%. So once this is up and once this is live, just be prepared. There's gonna be a lot of interest. So I hope he's right. I like that idea. Now you're talking my language.
Even if he's half right.
Now you're talking my language. But I agree with that 100% for sure. But the other thing is, with those clients, there's a law of reciprocity too, right? So having the referral program is great too, definitely 100%. And don't tune this out because you think a referral program doesn't apply to you.
Correct.
Right? Oh, Cory, I'm the insert whatever profession or store or operation you have. We don't really referrals or whatever. Don't think it doesn't apply to you. If you've got a bake shop, you could have a referral program.
100%.
Right? If you are a landscaper, if you sell windows, if you sell insurance, Cory, your insurance, you can't pay anybody anything. Okay, you can have a raffle.
Right.
You can raffle off a dinner to a steakhouse. For referrals. We're doing that now with the client that, we want to promote their field team to generate referrals for the partnership. And, every referral you get entered in to a deal to win.
Correct.
And that scale. So here's the thing, guys. You just got to be creative about it. So that will scale based on what's in the kitty.
Correct.
Right. So you want an iPad? Well, there'll be a lot of referrals. In there.
That's exactly
so
right.
you can make that work according to it. But the other thing too is, and this may be on your list, but in coordinating with the referral program is, how can you make a concerted effort to help a client do some business?
Right.
So, we've always said, hey, and we say this on the network side of things, if you see somebody, if you see like an interview we've done or something with somebody that you're trying to connect with, if you're in the family,
correct,
right, paying client,
right.
If you're in the family, then I want to do. That's how this deal came together that I was just talking about. Is I'm looking for ways to help the people that do business with me do business with each other.
Well, and when I say a referral rewards program, that is creatively anything
Sure, correct.
that recognizes
Of course.
opportunities to do business with
Of
somebody
course.
else. And sometimes that referral rewards program is, oh, wow, you gave me somebody, I'm going to bring somebody to you.
Right.
It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be whatever you want it to be creatively.
Right.
And here's where I think people get stuck sometimes on the referral rewards program. And before I say where they get stuck, you said something, if you don't think a referral rewards program applies to you, there's only two instances where it won't. One, you have 100% market share.
Right.
Two, you have zero market share.
Right.
Like you're out of business. Sure. Those are the only two extremes.
That's right.
Everything in the middle, there's an opportunity to do more business. But here's where people get kind of jacked up on referrals. They confuse referrals and bribes. Bribe is to get business. A referral is a reward for business that you got.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's a difference. And I think about that a lot. And I talk about that with sales leaders. And I've worked in healthcare sales a long time. You've got to be very careful. You can't go buy something for somebody to get their attention, but you can reward them with training on how to get better at what they do. So don't get confused with a referral and a bribe. A bribe is buying business. A referral is thanking somebody and rewarding the business that they brought you. But to your point, when you, as part of a referral rewards program, you can bring somebody else to the table, and that'd be your rewards program.
Right.
But you're going to get, and bringing it all back to the beginning, when you do that with existing clients, whether you're getting it or giving it, you're going to get more business. Yeah. And you're going to grow.
No, you're 100% on that. You know, I do take good fortune in, I'm very close. I have a very close personal relationship with one of the, I believe, biggest experts on referral business.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Don Brooks Gullah, who leads the B&I franchises in Virginia. So I'm constantly getting schooled and educated on the power of referral business and the ways to, the do's and the do nots.
Correct.
When it comes to that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's going to be a future episode.
I think
we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, go ahead.
Let's move on.
So, are we still at one?
That was two.
Oh, okay.
So the next one is, when
it's dark out.
We talk about rewards, is a loyalty rewards program.
Okay.
So if you don't have a loyalty rewards program, what can you create to reward people for doing more business with you?
Right.
And when you do that, you incentivize them. You think the reason that pick your hotel chain, I have mine, you have yours. The reason that they give you points is so that when you have the ability to choose which hotel to stay at, you're going to look to them first. Same thing with the airlines, same thing with restaurants.
Here's what I'll tell you. I don't know any grown-up. I'm going to put grown-up over 40.
Okay.
I'm going to put it that way.
Right.
Just because of the nature of the advancements of technology. I don't know any grown-up that's living right now over the age of 40 that didn't carry a punch card from somewhere in their wallet.
Right.
Punching to get to the next sub, punching to get the free taco, punching to get to the free movie.
Correct.
You know, so it's just now how it's been modernized, right? And how we can track it digitally and these type of things. So I agree. I agree 100%.
All right.
I think we can hit 3.
Yep, we can. That was 3.
Oh,
we're going to go with 4. Memberships.
Okay.
So we've got rewards programs, and then there's memberships. Can you recreate memberships? And I'll combine these two, memberships and increasing the frequency of the business that you're doing together.
Yeah.
And this applies especially in service businesses, recurring purchasing businesses, where you've got, let's say you've got a disposable product that you sell. You know, we've talked about, we use the Harry's model before.
Right, sure.
We've talked about Harry's, where you have a monthly membership where they send you a certain amount of blades every month. You can combine those two things. Can you do a monthly sell, a membership? So now you're increasing the frequency of it. And then we can talk about, on the other side, as we're getting into winter, we've enjoyed a beautiful string of beautiful days for a long period of time, well beyond what we normally get in this time of the season. Do you do HVAC, right? Do you have an annual program?
Sure.
Do you have a biannual program?
Right.
Do you have a quarterly program? Can you get these people involved in a program where now you're making it easier for them because when their time is up, you call them and say, okay, we're scheduling you. This is when we can be there. Can you, let's work it out. So
you have predictability of business, predictability of revenue in that standpoint. And I think the other thing there, small companies don't think they can do what big companies do.
Correct.
And it's not true at scale.
At scale, right.
Right. So no, you can't spend $1 million on TV.
Correct.
But take that concept that you just said. One of the big HVAC companies in the area that we happen to do business with personally sends me an invoice.
Right.
I haven't asked for anything.
Okay.
They send an invoice every year.
Okay.
For this prepay of this winterization, exactly what you're talking about.
Correct.
Right? We come out, we do this, we do that, it's $297 for the year.
Right.
They send an invoice.
Correct.
Now, they don't chase me, meaning it's they're taking a shot.
Correct.
So 10,000 people get that invoice.
Right.
A portion of those people will get it, go, oh, prepay, oh yeah, we should do that. The $297, send it back.
Right.
Done. Now they got the business. They're not, could they escalate? Could they be working the phones or the other things to do? Sure. But just that, so you being a small HVAC company can do the same thing with your customers because costs also scale based on what, right? I'm an HVAC company with 100 customers.
Right.
Well, it costs me a lot less to do that technique. So I can do the technique that the big boys do.
Right.
And can still control my costs, and now have a subset of people who are doing that. So that prepay, particularly if you're looking for cash flow or want to go into 2025 with a more flush from a cash flow standpoint, if you've got products and services, you talked about creating the membership,
right?
But there's also simplifying the prepay.
Correct.
What I like about what you're talking about here too is these things go together.
Correct. All of
right.
it.
So ask for this. So create the prepay, then ask for the business.
Right.
Right.
Exactly
Combine 4 and 1 right together.
Right. Yeah.
So now it's like, hey, we've been cutting your lawn for 2 years.
Right.
You're paying $100 a month. So what we're offering is if you prepay for 2025, we're going to save you 15%. You're happy with our service and you're getting your lawn cut anyway.
Correct.
Now, oh well, Cory, I'm losing 15%. Well, no, because you're gaining 11 months of cash flow in 1 month, which could mean buying a new truck, paying off a high interest loan that you took out to get more equipment, paying that off early. Like it's tactical there as a reason. Oh, hold on, we got something.
This might be a guy I want to work with.
There's got to be a church. Let the church say amen in there somewhere too.
Right.
Woo. Where the church say amen.
Well, and the value of, Cory, what you're talking about, the value of getting the money up front, it allows you to invest in resources that either can pay down debt so you can reduce your overall cost, or you can invest in maybe if you got a landscaping business, can you invest in a whole nother team with that money so that you can grow your business in the second quarter and third quarter and fourth quarter?
Correct.
So
a lot of options on the table.
100%. So we're talking about the memberships and the prepay, and what those things do is they also increase loyalty. Because if you make it that easy for somebody to stay with you, it's a lot harder for them to leave you because now they got to work, they got to go look for somebody, and you got to mess it up to get rid of them.
Excellent point. And you cannot self-determine what somebody else is willing to do. Okay, I don't think people will pay that. I had a client for a number of years, and he had a proposal in front of the client, and it was something like $6,500 a month. Okay. Whatever that is. I don't have the calculator in front of me times 12. So whatever it is. So I said, okay, go in and pitch the $6,500 a month. But I also want you to give them the option to pay $65,000 for the year.
Right.
So give them a discount. What Willie H, what is $6,500 times 12?
Well, if you do prepaid, then they're buying.
No, I want to know what they're getting
2 months.
Don't type me. Tell me the number out loud. So 78,000. So there it is, right? 6,500 on 12-month deal, 78,000 for 65,000.
Right.
You can pay up front, and that will save you money.
Right.
So, oh man, I don't. Just do it.
Just do it. Right.
The worst he can say is no.
Right.
It's an either or scenario. You're not making that the live or die.
Right.
But what if he says yes?
Perfect.
Bingo.
Right. Oh, that was perfect.
He presents it.
Right.
Oh, it just makes more sense for me to pay for the year and save the money.
Correct.
He leaves with a check for $65,000.
Well,
he sends me a picture. This is a true story.
That's so
Well, he sends me a
fantastic.
video. He's
Right.
like in tears
Yeah.
because that's $65,000 desperate. I mean, solopreneur building his business, 65,000 in the bank up front. That's a game changer for
Correct.
a small business owner and entrepreneur.
Correct. And
Maybe this guy can help me.
And that was number one.
right.
Ask for the right. And it was just asking a different way.
Right. And I say this, when I talk to salespeople, and I was a sales leader and I led salespeople,
Mhm.
you can't shop with your wallet.
Yeah.
They're not buying with your wallet.
Right.
So
Correct.
don't go in there and present only what you think you would buy.
Yeah.
Present what's going to make their life better. Give them an opportunity to benefit from it. And if they can, they will. And if they can't, so what?
Well, and then there's just you don't know. I hate to say the cliches, but you don't know what you don't know.
Correct.
Like small business owners listening to this that have plans to sell. You want to sell into corporations, or you want to get more into the corporate market.
Right.
Spoiler alert: there are corporations that have policies
Correct.
that require prepayment if savings are offered.
Right.
It could be $10 million.
Right.
If you say it's 5%, if you fully fund our contract,
Right.
there are corporations that have to take it over certain percentages. There's variables to that.
Correct.
But that you offer a 10% discount in exchange for upfront payment,
Right.
they'll do it
Correct.
because it's policy.
It's
Like it's
policy.
bigger than you, right? We think
Right.
about the B2B sale being business owner to business owner,
Right.
right? Not corporate manager or vice president of procurement or whatever.
Right.
So you sell yourself short if you're like, hey, we can do it by not even offering
Correct.
situations like that or even putting them on the table.
Correct.
The worst somebody could say is no.
Well, and this is where you got to get out of your own head, right? And we talk about this in personal development.
yeah,
We talk
sure.
about this in sales. We talk about everything.
Mhm.
But here's the reality of it. If you think you can,
Right.
then you got a shot. You're on
Right.
the way.
Mhm.
If you think you can't, you're in the way. So the more you tell yourself they won't do it,
Right.
the more you're in the way of them doing it.
I like it.
All right. So we'll combine. I got these last two, and
Okay.
we can combine them. The first one is create or sell complementary products.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like we talked about the landscaper,
Right.
if they've got, if they need fertilizer.
How do you not do mulch?
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, sure.
So sell complementary products that you offer.
Right.
And then the other part together to put that together is bundle packages.
Yeah, I
Sell
like
a package
Mhm.
that includes all of that and say, here's our package A, B, and C. Package A includes this, package B includes this, package C includes this. Which one's going to benefit you the most?
Right.
And then by doing that, you're increasing the revenue that you're doing with them. Again, if you're already working with them, you've reduced the resistance, you've reduced your cost of gaining new business, and you've increased your bottom line.
Voice of reason.
There we go. I knew we were getting one.
Right.
No, I think those are all excellent points. But you did. I'm going to add something in there.
Yeah, please.
Which is, the default could be your products or services already in bundling, but where are their partners? Who can you partner with to create revenue?
Oh yeah, sure.
So right now we're working with a franchise organization that does one thing, right? They do one thing in the auto repair space, or not one thing, but they offer these services. But they're tapped out, right? There's only you
Right.
you do alignments, there's only so much you can do, right?
Right.
So we have a client who has a complementary product
Okay.
that needs distribution.
Right.
So instead of trying to build distribution for the product, who already has distribution that could use new revenue, like true new revenue, a new
Right.
line item in
Correct.
that P&L for new revenue that you're not getting right now.
Correct.
So now your distribution and need for new revenue, our product and need
Right.
for distribution
Right.
comes together.
Correct.
And now I've created a new revenue opportunity, which is goes right to your point, because the first people I'm going to go to when I bring in this new product
Right.
is current clients to
Yes.
say, hey, we've got this new product that does X, Y, and Z,
Right.
and it's exclusively at our location. We're the only XYZ in the area. We're the only business in the area that has it, and it's exclusive here. So now they're creating new revenue with the customer base through partnership.
Right. Yes.
And sometimes that could be more powerful than having to reinvent the wheel. Because, we've also talked about this idea. I don't want to give away a conversation. I don't want to give away an episode we're going to do.
Right.
But we have had the conversation about trunks and branches, right?
Correct.
So
Yes.
sometimes a business owner is sitting around going, well, what else can what else can we come up? What variation of our thing can we come up with?
Right.
What new flavor?
Right.
We like the chicken salad place
Correct.
that's in the area. Willie H. had some the other day, didn't invite me. Came back with some. He's going to say, well, I had my lunch already. I brought my lunch, but not an excuse to not tell me you're going to the chicken salad place.
Like the lunch just lasts till tomorrow.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, you wouldn't have liked this one anyway because I got some kind of like flavor in it. And I'm like, chicken salad is not meant to be trifled with.
Right.
It's kind of meant to be how it's supposed to be. I don't need you infusing sriracha or whatever into my chicken salad.
Right.
But an organization like that has to come up with some
Correct.
right new pony
Correct.
to because plain old Cory's version, the plain old chicken salad
Right.
isn't going to be enough to grow revenue another $1 million, right?
Correct.
So you need the hot toddy chicken salad. Well, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
Yesterday's price.
I don't know if that goes there, but nonetheless,
That's good. He's
you
paying
got to
attention.
come up with the strawberry flavored Reese's Pieces chicken salad to
Right.
keep people intrigued.
Right. 100%.
So sometimes the easiest factor to do now is, but stay true to your brand.
Correct.
Would I be stunned if Five Guys Burgers and Fries had a chicken sandwich sooner or later?
Right.
I wouldn't be stunned, but not there. It was much easier for them to start making milkshakes
Correct.
than change the whole vibration of their brand, right?
Correct.
So, we need more revenue. Okay, great. Let's add milkshakes to the equation.
Correct.
As an easy fix.
Yeah. Well, and, you're absolutely right. You've got a lane.
Yeah.
Maximize your lane, and when you maximize your lane, and you're looking for parallel lanes, then you can look to partnerships, and you can look to working with referrals and partnerships. Absolutely.
I like it. We got through them?
We got through them. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna leave. This is something that I talk to my salespeople about all the time.
Yep.
This is something that I talk to salespeople about when I talk to them. This is going to be something for business owners that are listening to this today.
Okay.
So we appreciate you coming back, and we appreciate you coming if this is your first time. As you look, so Cory, you said this, you're working with some of your clients.
Yep.
You're looking at 2025. So whenever this airs, whether it's at the end of 24 or beginning of 25, it's going to air at a place where this is appropriate.
Right.
I call it set the
It's
tee.
going to air next week.
Right. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I call it set the T.
Yeah.
And it's like a T chart, right? You can do a positive change or whatever, but I call it a set the T chart.
Okay.
And on the left side of the T, look at the products that your best clients are currently buying from you.
Okay.
And on the right side of the T, look at products that your best clients are buying that you offer, but they're buying it from somebody else. Those are the products that you start to go after, that you start to ask for more business.
Okay.
Because they're already buying those products from somebody else,
Yeah.
and they already buy something from you. So why not go ask them to buy something that they're buying from somebody else that you offer, and
Right.
then use that as part of your planning and strategy for 2025 if
I
you're
like
looking
that.
for ways to grow business, grow your sales, and earn more revenue with your current clients.
Maybe this guy can help me.
Well, I like that. And, the asterisk I'll put next to that is make sure you're doing the work to build the relationship to bring that new business over.
Correct.
Right? Because
100%.
you don't want to, I don't really want to leave. Oh, we really like the other person, all this other stuff, right?
Right.
So you've got to go a step further to make sure that you have the relationship
Correct.
that makes it happen, you
Right.
know? All right, I like it.
Yeah, I'll turn it back over to you.
This was this was good. I'm like, what's next? What's next? Come on, what you got in there? That's how I feel.
So we take a little load off your back this
Yeah, look at
episode
that.
and make it a little easier for you.
Yeah, just like that. We'll be back to normal. So.
That's exactly right.
No, I think this was valuable. Thank you for stepping up to the challenge. You didn't,
100%.
You were like, yes. So I secretly think you've been waiting. You've been waiting. Like, when is he going to let me run one of these things? I'm trying to get my name on the thing back there. I'm trying to see if I get my name on a cup or something there. I don't know. Don't blame me for what the last person did to blow it. All right, folks, listen. Inside joke. You'd have to be here from episode 1 to get the breadth of that inside joke. But we're as Lon said, we're thankful for your viewership, listenership. Hopefully, you're catching us. We're streaming on all your favorite locations. And listen, you know, a business owner, people that could take some value from this, I encourage you to make them aware, let them know what we're doing, and they can find us on any place that you're streaming that, you know, matters. I'm sure there's some obscure channel out there that maybe we're not getting picked up on, but you know, and shout out to all the new people that are coming in, AFD, that we're streaming out to, a lot of new people that are picking up our feed. I think there's some talk about a major credit card company picking up our feed to go to their small business owner community.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'll wait for official words to say that.
It's all good.
But big credit card company.
Yeah.
In Virginia.
You might recognize their name.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I think we're getting out of here.
Yep.
LG, thank you for taking the lead here and for the great insights as always. Folks, if you want to find out what we're doing, interested in working with us, learning more, you're getting valuable information here, or you want to go a step further with some of the other content we put out, I encourage you to head over to the allnewcorymosley.com. You can learn more about the book. We've got a great blog set up. Obviously, we've got, you know, the episodes of the podcast there as well. Within our YouTube, we're on the social media channels, but learn more about some of the things we're doing with our thought leadership interviews, also our integrated marketing services. And if you're in a position that you need a great speaker, that's another option too. So we do come out and talk to your groups, talk to your associations and organizations about building your business and growing your business. So I think that's it for the plug. Yes, let's do some business. I mean, right? Let me take LG 007's first tenet. Ask for the business. If you're listening to this and you're a business owner and you're not a client,
right,
and not a relative, don't do business with relatives.
That's for the business.
Yeah, it's the business.
There you go.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. Love to talk to you. Love to have a conversation. If you're, you know, concerned about, you know, some things that are going on with your website, your branding, your marketing, your sales process, you know, your people, are they not answering the phone like they should be? Are they having terrible conversations? Right. Are you concerned as a business owner with organizationally things that are happening on your future? This is an area, you know, we want to talk to you. We want to have that conversation. So I encourage you to reach out. No obligation to do anything. And I promise I'll be salesy. Only if I can help you. So with that, we're going to get out of here. This has been another episode of the Grow Business Podcast. I'm Cory Mosley. Oh, we don't do the other thing. He just does the ching. I'm Cory Mosley on behalf of myself, LG007, and Willie H. We're thankful to have you, and we will see you next week. Willie H., take us out. Look at you, LG. All right.
That work?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Good info.
I was like, you're serious about that?
Well, I also still don't think people believe we don't know. I mean, you know, they think we know, but we don't. I mean, that's the fun of it, I think.
Right. Well,
being prepared to handle the dialogue, right?
Right. Well, that's why I said what I said up front is that, you know, because you do all the prep work. I just show up and talk.
That's right. But I like this format. We might be 2025. Might be making a little tweaky pool.
It'll be like ping pong. You would do 5 to me and then 5 to you.
Exactly. Like a chore chart. These are your, who's getting the kids? These are your weeks to get the kids. These are the weeks I'll take the kids.
That's good.
I love it. Oh, that was good. All right.
That's good news about it.